Hello. So this video is going to be about like engagement. And so here we are. I think let me check my time date right now. We are April 25th, 2021. Hopefully ending the pandemic, coming close to the end of the school year, but everyone is exhausted. Um, it has been a tough year. There's been a lot to celebrate, but to say that it's been easy would be not true. And so I've been talking a lot with a lot of teachers about how just they're really struggling with engagement. And so I really wanted to create just some things to think about, like what could we do to maybe lift the level of engagement and excitement to get kids and teachers through the last part of the year strong. So here we go. Let's see what I've got. And again, as always, as I do these videos, please, please, please share your tips and ideas because together we are better. All right. So I think we have to find some ways to lift the level of the energy. And you're like, yeah, I get that. So I know that that's not new, but something you could consider doing based on like what the guidelines are in your space. I live in Missouri, and so our guidelines do allow us to do a little bit of partnership work side by side. Students have masks on and within a short time frame of less than 10 minutes. So there's nothing like right now, kids have been sitting in rows, they've been sitting far apart from each other, they have their masks, and it kind of reminds me of what it used to be like when I was a kid in school, where it was just like, um, you kind of hear that and you miss that. Collaboration, like that builds an energy. And so if you are able to in your school and in your area to do short side by side partnership work, not face to face, where you're timing students and they get a few minutes together to collaborate, maybe just a little bit closer, I think that that can help lift the level of energy. Something that I've been doing when I get an opportunity is just compliment only conferences. So just going around and noticing the behaviors and the strategies that students are doing in their reading and their writing, and I compliment them on that, and like do that more. Keep doing that. Do that again. That's what readers and writers do. Like in as a reader and writer, I do that same thing. So helping connect that for them to what they will do as a reader and writer in the real world is really important too. So I would highly recommend compliment only conferences. If you are somebody who does evaluations or class visits, I would highly recommend compliment only conferences too for your teachers. Just like lift their level of energy. This is exhausting right now. It is hard to teach behind a mask with students spread out. And trying to enunciate and hear and have energy. And so just compliment them like crazy because, boy, they are doing a bang up job and it's just really powerful. And we want to let them know how much we appreciate that. And then plan a celebration. Okay, so I have to tell you, I get invited every 4 weeks to a teacher's writing celebration with her kindergartners, and it's virtual. And literally, she does such a beautiful job with it. It's super efficient. So this teacher invites a group of um, district leaders or family, really mostly district leaders though, and building leaders to her writing celebration. And in that writing celebration, she puts 3 students in a breakout room, and the students read their piece to us and they tell us what they're most proud of, and we give them a compliment. In less than 15 minutes, every kid gets an audience of 2 or 3 adults, and we just compliment those students, and they are super proud of their work and tell us what they've learned the most. And then we're done. And they get so excited about doing their next set of writing. so that we can come back for their next celebration. So it doesn't have to be a big event, doesn't even have to be in person, but try to think of a way to lift the energy level and the purpose of what you're doing in reading and writing by planning a fun celebration. Something that I think right now that could be helpful is audience. So some of the things that I was thinking is like find a way to build a purpose in the work that you're doing and provide an audience for that. So you could consider doing like book reviews. So as students are reading books, they could create book reviews and they could record themselves and you could create QR codes and it could go on the books in your school library, or those videos of the book reviews teach them how to do like a book talk. Those short videos could go like on your building library site or your school district social media, like listen to these students promoting some books that they think you should be reading. Like that would be really fun work for students. Another way you could build audience is invite staff and families or community members and have them be an audience for students via Zoom, or the students could create something, record themselves, and then you could push it out to people and they could give the students feedback, or they could do compliment only, give the students just compliments and get them excited, or even ask them questions about maybe what they're researching and writing about if they're doing like argumentative essays. And then I think like right now, find a way to create something to share with others just as an audience. So maybe think about what your classroom website looks like and how you can share the learning that's happening. And people could ask the students questions and see what you're doing, or ask for tips on how to try out a strategy that they're doing in their own work at home. So I think that could be really fun. One of my favorite things, and I feel like you'll hear me talk about this a lot, is clubs, because clubs are fun. Who doesn't want to be in a club, right? So, like as a kid, I made up all kinds of goofy clubs and invited people in my clubs and made like stickers and posters and who was able to be in my club and who couldn't be in my club. And my brother never could be in my club, but any girls could be in my club. So I was kind of a stinker sometimes. I apologize, but clubs are fun for kids. So kids love being in clubs. They love creating clubs. It's important that the clubs are student choice, and you want to think about a couple of different clubs that you could offer. So I was kind of thinking about this, and I was thinking in writing, you could consider doing like a genre club. Maybe students who want to write informational or argumentative essay or opinion or persuasive pieces, like you could get even more specific. Or maybe they want to do a research club or a journalism club, or maybe like a graphic novel writing club. That could be really fun. Another thing, like when I think about reading, you could do your book clubs. They could be like series books. Um, Remember, if you've watched some of my other things or attended any of like my professional development, you know the importance of offering these books in different formats. So like holding the book, students being able to hold the book, you could have that digitally and then audio, so that students who maybe couldn't engage in the text through reading the words, they could engage in the text through listening to the book being read to them, because a lot of times our students who struggle maybe with reading the words still can do the high thinking work when they're not having to spend all that time reading the words. They can still have the conversations. They can still talk about the book with their peers. And what a great way to like help them feel connected, even more connected with their class. I think you could think about author study clubs, like where you have different authors or different types of books, like genres. You could think about science, like nonfiction clubs that are on science or social studies topics. You could think about poetry. And again, you could think about graphic novels. So I know that right now, like it's a tough time, but we want to get everyone excited so that we can finish the year off strong. Many of you have 6 weeks, 7 weeks left. And so, what can we do that's going to get the kids excited and get you excited? These are just a few tips, and I would love to hear some of the things that you're trying in your classroom so that we could help as a community one another. Have a great day.